What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up with the Joneses. 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 Question: have you ever wondered what it was like to move to another country, or you've seen other people do it and you're like, what did it take to do such a feat? Well, this video is for you, and make sure you stick to the end because I have a number one question that we get asked all the time that I want to give you the answer to. So without further ado, what's up, beautiful people? It's me, Rickey Jones Jr. We also have the oh so lovely
Chrystle Jones,
and we are back again for another video. Welcome. Now, this video is all about answering frequently asked questions that have been asked to us as it pertains to our move to Johannesburg,
South Africa.
So,
and it's fun because some of the questions are, I guess because we're in the process, it's not a thought to us. It's like, why would that be a thing? So some of the questions are a little strange, but I'm like, well, I guess if you don't know, you just don't know.
Don't know.
So
here we are to help you with the things that we do know. How about that? And then we can do some more because there are even things that I've been thinking about as it pertains to getting a car there, car insurance, things like that. So we'll answer those questions once we've traveled through the process. However, Rickey and Chrystle, what is the time zone difference between Tampa, Florida, and Johannesburg, South Africa? And what is the answer, my dear?
6 hours. They are 6 hours ahead of us.
Yes.
So it's fun. I keep telling the kids we're going into the future. So that excites them.
Nice. Rightfully so. Who doesn't?
So yes, they are 6 hours ahead of us in the Eastern Standard Time Zone.
Right.
In the United States.
Right. And so if you're in California, you just, add another 3 hours.
Right.
So if you're in California, they're 9 hours, and you just do the math from there. But yes.
And things have been a little complex trying to do business. Let me tell you, waking up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. trying to talk to people there, and it's fun. This is a fun transitional
time. Hello. And I was even thinking how we will be able to have like 2 days living over there, in a sense where we could wake up and help people finish their day here. So if we like wake up around 4 o'clock in the morning, it'd be 10 p.m. here. And so, we could do some calls or something with people at 10 o'clock, and then we could live out a full day in Johannesburg.
10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I mean, some people still up. I've been seeing a lot of lives on at 10 o'clock. It might be a popping time.
Listen.
But you just have the option, right? So 6 hours ahead.
Yes.
Hello. Number 2, how are the home prices there?
So I would say that the home prices are better because I feel like you get more for your money and better quality for your money. If we were to put it in a position of somewhere in the States, Rickey often says it's like Atlanta, or like the outskirts of like Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, and to your point, like it's better relatively to Tampa, right? Because the prices in Tampa are high. Florida's just high in general. Everybody knows that. Florida and California and the States. Florida, California, New York. Those are the 3 places where you will find the highest prices of real estate in the United States of America, right? So then with that perspective, then you just drill it down to an area where it's likened to Johannesburg. And to your point, Atlanta is what I would say, old Atlanta. Pre-COVID Atlanta. I heard Atlanta went up.
Yeah, they've been saying that the prices are going up.
I heard it went up. So pre-COVID Atlanta, it was about the same. So you can get a 4-bedroom, 4-bath home for probably about $253,000. And it's a beautiful home, like probably in a gated community with all the trimmings and things that you didn't even think that you could get for that price. So no, it's nice.
Yeah, and I would say even in Atlanta, even in pre-COVID Atlanta, like you're not getting a gated community with a manned guard.
Right.
Actual person there, 24 hours, buildings with doormen. Like you're not getting that in the States without having like all the coins. And so, but there it's very standard.
Yep.
And it's interesting because well, wait. Okay. I'll get into that because it leads into another question people have.
Okay.
So I'll get into that later. But a lot of the luxurious things as far as the finishes in the home and stuff like that, they're top tier, and here you're not getting all that for the amount of money.
No. And I even started doing like reactions to homes in Johannesburg, South Africa on our reactions channel, so y'all can check those out, right? But when you finish this video. Okay, and so with that, here we go. The third question is how will you all be communicating with people back in the States? Do you get to keep your number, or like is there an app that you will use to talk to people back at home?
Listen, new number, who this?
Because we have to, right?
Yeah, we will not be keeping our phone numbers.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. I know both of us have had our phones forever.
Yeah.
Like our phone numbers forever. Like literally since I first got a phone in the 10th grade.
Yep.
I've had the same phone number.
Me too.
My whole life.
Yeah.
And so
likewise.
I don't know, that's over probably over like right at about 20 years ago. Maybe a little more. Like, yeah, so but it was cool because then I thought about it, I was like, you know, it's people with my number that probably have no business trying to even contact me. And so I think that has to do with some of the transitions God is having us go through, and just closing some doors and cutting some ties. And so I'm fine with that. So we will be using
WhatsApp. Is the main app that we will use to communicate with people. So if you are our family and friends, if you haven't downloaded it already, please go ahead and do so. And just to help people that may be traveling internationally, that is the app that is predominantly used.
Yeah.
And we've traveled to Bahamas quite often. That is the app that they use locally as well as internationally. We have friends there and family, right, that we communicate with through WhatsApp. And so go ahead and get it. It's an app through Facebook. So even outside of WhatsApp, there's the Facebook Messenger, there's Instagram Messenger. Obviously, there's email that will continue. However, we will get Johannesburg, South African numbers, okay? And even as we travel, we'll just get numbers as it pertains to the local area and the community. So allowing us to fully engulf ourselves in the new culture and the area that we're in. I'm excited for it as well. And we'll see how it goes. So the country code, right? Because each country has a country code. America is +1. The country code for South Africa is +27. So if I'm reaching out to you,
it's +27 or +21?
I think it's 27.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's 27.
I believe you. I don't know why I was just thinking 21.
Nah, see, I'm even going now into my WhatsApp.
Yeah, 27.
+27. And so if you get a message from us, it is +27. It's the Joneses. We reached out to you, want you to have our new number. For all that to say, please download the WhatsApp, because that is the way that we will communicate with you all, right, going forward. And yeah, man, it's gonna be fun times. So, question number 4. Are you shipping your things over to Johannesburg, South Africa?
So, I don't know if any of you guys saw our previous home. We had this amazing blue couch.
Lovely.
Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
And
slept on it many a days.
We wanted to keep that couch. We wanted to keep our furniture. Rickey's
all
like,
of it.
We need to ship this stuff. And so, if any of you are willing to donate, like $45,000.
That's all.
We will be shipping our stuff.
That's all.
So say not to say no. No. It's so expensive to ship. We did look into it. One of the reasons, in short, that the reasons it is so expensive to ship is, one, you have to do it in shipping containers, and so you have to go to a port. For us in Tampa, the nearest port is Miami. The other option would literally be like New York City, because only certain ports ship internationally. But then also, they would be shipping it and it would arrive in Cape Town. We will be living in Johannesburg. And it may seem like that can't be that far, but actually, it's a 14-hour drive.
Hello.
So then we would have to wait 6 to 8 weeks for our stuff to get from the port of Miami to the port of Cape Town. After getting it from Tampa to Miami, which is a 4-hour drive. And so then even once it arrived in Cape Town, we have to navigate paying again someone to ship it for us from Cape Town to Johannesburg. So Yeah, it gets extremely expensive, extremely time consuming. The logistics behind it, like
crazy. And even taxes, right? There's taxes that you will incur upon landing in Cape Town. And so we don't want to go through that, right? And then damages could occur, right? Because there's a lot of transportating and
they're like, your stuff is probably, a lot of it's probably gonna break. So make sure you get extra insurance on top of the insurance, because they're only gonna, I think they were only gonna insure about $2,000 worth of stuff. And I'm like,
that's a bed frame.
I looked at Ricky, I said, babe, for all of this, if we got $45,000, we can buy more furniture. Like, we didn't, and you know, because we like nice things, but I guess I'll say we're not bougie people. We didn't buy any of the furniture. We had like all secondhand stuff in our house, like, except maybe our kids' toddler beds.
But you wouldn't even know, because it was high quality.
It was high quality secondhand, like people gifted it to us.
Shouts out to our brother.
Yes, and our brother's best friend. Like they just gave us stuff, they blessed us with stuff. So we were leaving and we were able to bless people with things. We were able to donate different things. Like, so it worked out. We were like, you know, we're blessed to be a blessing. This is an opportunity we will take, and we won't be shipping anything because it is extremely expensive. Not even our car. I know Ricky did mention that we'll be looking into getting a vehicle over there, but again, it incurs the same type of cost, and it's too much.
It's too much, right? It's just too much. So think about that, right? What's the value? Is the value in shipping your things or just getting new things? And we realize getting new things, what's the better value? And so
question, follow up.
Go ahead.
Since we are not shipping things, what are we taking and how?
That is a good question, and people do ask that quite a bit. We are taking our clothing, right? We're taking clothing. I have some hangers that I do want to take, because I'm very specific about my hangers, and I don't know, some supplies for our production company, right? Lights and cameras and all those things. We're taking those, and we were able to find a home that has furniture in it, fully furnished, brand new furniture, all of that good stuff, from the couches to the tables to the plates to the dishes to the sheets to the towels. Everything is there. And so brand new. God has truly favored us in that. And so, because we had another spot that we even showed on our YouTube channel, it was like 5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, and I was overwhelmed with the thought of trying to furnish that space. And so God worked it out. Because I was like, boo-boo, since we not shipping our things, because y'all didn't give us $45,000, we was like, okay, let's find a furnished place. So that is what we're doing, and that is what we're taking. Shoes, clothes, hangers, and supplies for the business.
Yes, and so with that, you can take, we're taking it on the plane. So everything we're taking on the plane with us in the way of luggage or, you know, boxes, small boxes. Even that has a cost to it. So, you know, 2 free bags per person. So that's 8 bags total. I'm not gonna lie, we got more stuff than that. But it's 2 free bags per person. Going into the 3rd bag, it is $150 per bag for each person. And then bags 4 through 10 are $200 a piece. And so
we'll be excited to show you all how many bags we end up with at the airport.
I just keep trying to consolidate stuff. I've been consolidating for over a month now.
Let me tell you what that means. That means she has like these shrink wrap bags that she's purchased for her clothing, which is pretty cool, right? And so my thought is, once she shrinks it, it's done. No. She shrank it, expanded it back again, taking things out, giving things away, try things on, shrank it again. Open it back up, open it out, gave some things away, tried some things on, and now it's just, you know, ready to be shrunk again.
Yes, and I would say, because
I love it.
I am, so for those of you who know, I worked part-time at a store that was literally my favorite clothing store. And I was able to get a lot of amazing things for, listen, I got suits for him, suits for me, like,
Facts.
I'm talking about $500-600 suits for like $80. The whole thing, top and bottom, like, and so I know I want to take these quality items. However, I'm balancing that with the amount of space. The fact that I'm not wearing a suit everywhere, I need leisure clothes. So making sure I have room for leisure clothes and just even some of the things that I really loved. People that were helping me pack, they really loved them also. And so even though it was hard for me to part with them in the moment, I waited a couple days and I went back into it and I was like, no, I'm gonna give this to you. Just because one of the things God said to me was, Chrystle, like, by the time you need what you don't have, I'll make sure you have resources to get it again. And so I just try to always look at it's a blessing to be able to be a blessing. People say that, but I really do mean that. And as much as I love some of the items, seeing the smile on different people's faces when I gave them something I know they really liked, it made it all worth it. And so the consolidation continues. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's hard to part with things, but that's the unsealing and the resealing is, Chrystle, you don't have to keep it, just give it away. Okay, I'll take it out, I'll give it away. But I'll end up over there with no clothes because I just keep giving stuff away. But I am also thinking I'm not trying to pack a $10 shirt in a $200 bag. That doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to make sense. So I'm making sure everything that I am taking, not those raggedy shorts that got 3 holes in it that I just wear around the house. Like, this is taking up valuable space. So
sometimes them shorts look good around the house.
Oh my God.
But
anyways, moving on.
The next question is, how are the schools there? Which is a great question, right? Because we have 2 kids, a lovely daughter that is 7, and we have a son that is currently 4, will be turning 5 in September. So a valuable question.
It's a great question, and the schools are great. They're phenomenal. We found 2 different schools that we absolutely love. The programs, down to the uniforms, everything about them. One of the things that I truly love about the schools that we looked at, they are private schools. One of the things that I love is the pricing. For one, the pricing is really excellent for what you're gonna get. We're basically gonna be paying what we're paying for my son to go in daycare, just him. It's gonna cost that for both of our kids to be able to go to school. So, and they're gonna have a lot of activities and things. I'm talking about, this includes aftercare, all the things. It's gonna cost the same price to send 2 of them as opposed to in the States where it costs that to send 1. And another thing I love about the schools is they introduce languages early on. So both of the kids will be learning 2 languages. They are Zulu and Afrikaans. Those are 2 languages that are spoken in South Africa. They do instruct in English. So their math, science, English, all those things, they will be instructed in English. However, they will be having those languages added to their curriculum, and as they get older, they add more languages, including anything from French to
Arabic,
Japanese,
Hebrew.
Like, it's, you know, it spans. They can choose like any languages, but I do believe that that does help to create them, give them the ability to be more globally impactful when they speak multiple languages. So I'm really excited that that's going to be introduced to them at such an early age.
And even to your point of swimming, dance, music classes, all of those are available. Sports obviously is available as well. And so there's so many different things that these schools have to offer that we're excited about. And even outside of that, they are schools where a lot of international kids come, because South Africa is a place where a lot of diversity takes place within a given country. And so they'll be able to be in a school where other Americans are, people from other countries. Diversity, which is pretty cool, because we know in our lives we are globally impactful, and so being able for them to be in that surrounding is going to be so beneficial to them. in this early age.
Yes, and the schools are internationally accredited.
Boom.
So if we came back to the States, if we moved to Thailand, the kids will still be able to remain in their proper grade and have the accredited school backing for them to be able to apply for college or whatever later down the line. So here in the States, we have something called the IB program. A lot of times that does not start until high school, at least here in Florida. And several of the private schools that we looked at, they actually operate off of the IB program, which is the International Baccalaureate Program. So it is a very advanced curriculum. It's intense, it's advanced, but it is international. So the kids and their schooling, they're going to be fine to be able to travel, like Ricky said, to any country we go to and still remain in the appropriate grade.
Boom diggity. And so 2 more frequently asked questions before we get to the big question that a lot of people ask us all the time. One of them is, how is the food in Johannesburg, South Africa? My answer is amazing. And I don't even do food like that. I'm getting better, I will say. I have turned a page. But the page was, I don't care about food. Food was just necessary to function. And so, however, when we went and traveled and experienced the food there, I was like, whoa, this Indian food is amazing. The naan bread is spectacular. The seasons is popping, right? That's what makes me just do all that. It's popping, right? So I love it. I'm excited because I'm excited to just eat new things.
Listen, it excites me that he's excited to eat food.
Yeah.
Also,
I can say that.
I'm a foodie, so I fear for my waistline. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna keep it in the pocket. Interestingly enough, the times that we have gone, I've eaten so much food because I am a foodie, but I didn't gain weight, and I think that has to do with the fact that they have so much less preservatives and things inside of their food. So even though you're eating these things, you're consuming them in a healthier structure, I guess you could say. And so my waistline should be fine, hopefully. I'll work on it. But I'm excited. Like I said, I'm a foodie. I can't wait to show you guys the new foods, drinks, treats, all the things that we're going to be trying. I can't wait to get my hand on a spice rack. We went to the grocery store and they have loose spices, I guess you could say. Like they're out and you just scoop and put in container how much you want for, taking home. But I'm excited to be able to cook with spices that are that fresh, not just like in a jar for, doesn't expire for the next 15 years. So I can only imagine how amazing that's gonna taste and be. And so I love trying new recipes, so I am ready to dive head first in all that the food culture has to offer in Johannesburg. One thing that we will really have to seek out is African food. I didn't see a lot of places to get it. A lot of it was Indian. We saw tons of Indian food. But
which was amazing.
Yeah, I know. If you know some places, if you're from Johannesburg and you're watching and you know some places, put some suggestions down.
Please.
I want to go on a whole food tour because I want to eat all the food. My brother, who's closest in age to me, he's a foodie also. And so I already have the itinerary for breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, snacks, all the food. I gotta have it all laid out. So when he comes, we going on a food tour and I can't let him down. So let me know places that we have to stop on the food tour.
Boom diggity, and we're gonna make sure y'all are part of that food tour. And so one of the last questions before we get to the main question is, when you move to Johannesburg, South Africa, are you able to take your US passport? Or do you have to get a passport from South Africa to be there?
So this is a valid question.
Yeah.
It is a valid question because people don't know.
Hello.
So we are US citizens.
Yeah.
We will continue to be US citizens. When you travel internationally, whether it's for a short vacation that's a couple of days or for a longer period of time, like we will be moving and relocating, you need your US passport or the passport of whatever country you are from at all times. It identifies where your citizenship is from. We still remain and will continue to remain US citizens, so we will continue to have our US passport. When we say we are getting a visa is something that they put inside of our US passport. And so it takes up a whole page. A lot of times it's done in the country where you are going to. So previously I traveled on a mission trip to India. I went to an office that was based in the States. I gave them my passport. They mailed my passport to India. In India, they put what was necessary for the visa. I actually have it. I can show it to you.
That's cool.
Okay. They put what was necessary for the visa in there on a page, and then they mailed it back to the office, and the office mailed it to me. I'm gonna go get it so you can see it. Hold on. This is my US passport. It has holes in it because this is my old passport. The visa's for, it says multiple entry, so that means I could go in and out of the country multiple times. When you go to different countries, they put a stamp in your passport, so this means I just traveled there, and you get these normally when you go places. So that is what we are waiting on to get back from South Africa, the visa that will be put into our US passport for us to be able to travel. If you get citizenship in other countries, that's when you get a passport from them and all those things. We are not applying for citizenship, we are applying for a visa that allows us to live there.
Correct. However, we will still be US citizens or property of the United States. That's what it really means. With this passport, that means you are property of the United States or property of whatever passport holder you are. And so that will remain. All right, great people. So if you made it this far, if you would, please click that subscribe button so that you can join the family, okay? The Jones family and all of our adventures and fun that is to come, okay? And last but not least, the most asked question as it pertains to us moving to Johannesburg, South Africa is, when are you all leaving? And I'm gonna go ahead and answer this question because my beautiful wife is tired of answering this question respectfully.
Not tired of, just it's so loose.
It's loaded, right? And so the real answer is whenever we get the visa, right? We've had 2 dates that we had scheduled for our flights to go. We now have a 3rd flight date, however it's irrelevant of when it is because ultimately when we get our visa is when we will leave, okay? And so if we get our visa today, then maybe a week from now we'll leave because, you know, the flights are going to be extremely high the same day or the same week. And so if it happens before our 3rd date that we've chosen, then, you know, we'll go ahead and make the move. But at the end of the day, it is when we get our visa. That's just the bottom line. Like, we set dates, right? Because I say it because we set dates and it's obviously not in our hands, pun intended, the visa. And so the process isn't in our hands. The visas themselves isn't in our hands, so we can't leave. We can't leave with them. We can't leave without them, and therefore we have to wait for them. And when they come, we'll go. So that is the answer to that question, great people.
And one of the ways that I've described it, that I feel like a lot of people understand, at least if you travel, it's like when you go apply for a US passport. You apply and they give you a time frame for how long it's going to take to get your passport back. They may say, right now I think the processing times are like 4 to 16 weeks, which is a wild window.
That's like a gap.
Yes, but it's like 4 to 16 weeks. You go apply for a US passport. That's not the time frame for the visa, but if you go apply for a US passport, they say it'll take 4 to 16 weeks. The only option outside of that is if you like pay rush fees or something like that, but they don't have rush fees for visas. We would have paid it.
What?
But like, it's like if you go apply for a US passport, they say it takes 4 to 16 weeks. Literally, any time within that time is when it can arrive. And so you may say, oh, I'm gonna be leaving in 6 weeks. And then it arrives in 4 weeks. And it's like, oh, I can leave sooner. You may say I'll be leaving in 6 weeks, and then it takes 10 weeks. You don't know. It arrives when it arrives. And so it's literally that same type of system. They give you a window of time, and it will arrive in that window of time. The window of time we have is getting shorter and shorter. We've already made it through 5 weeks.
Because the gap is 4 to 8 weeks.
Yes.
It's what they told us.
4 to 8 weeks. We are in the 6th week now. And so at this point, it's like, oh, okay, it should only be 2 more weeks. But at the same time, you're dealing with international governments. And so, you know, the government gonna government sometimes, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, actually,
it's not a priority today.
It's not a priority today.
3 weeks later, it's not a priority today. And it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
They have other things that they're dealing with. And another thing that you said as well that gave me peace of mind is we're not the only one that is applying for visas or applying to go to another country. Either way, right? We're not the only ones trying to go from America to South Africa or from South Africa to America, in which they're both funneling those visas themselves. So that gave me peace of mind. I think it will help you all as well.
Yeah, even while we were at the passport appointment, which we did a video on that, check it out. But even while we were at the passport appointment, I was in the embassy. There are only 3 embassies that service South African affairs in the States for the whole country. So everybody's coming to these places, but while I was there applying, there was a gentleman who walked in and was like, oh, I need a visa for next week. I have a conference that they're sending me to for work. And as U.S. citizens, we can go on a travel visa with the ability to get there, stay for 90 days before we have to leave. Certain countries, depending on where you're from, you have to have a visa to even get there in the first place. And so this gentleman was from one of those countries, but I guess he works for a country in the States or something, whatever his situation was. He was there and he's like, I need this visa for next week. I'm going to a conference for work. The guy was like, okay. So automatically that bumped his to higher priority than ours because we're not going for
official business.
We're going to live. And so you have to think that's one that I saw. But how many people are coming into these offices for official business or different things? I saw somebody that was coming in for a visa for their child, another gentleman. He was coming in for a visa for their child because he works, I think, in South Africa on behalf of the U.S. government. And so he was getting her paperwork situated. So all these things are happening in the process of us applying for our visas. So I can only imagine how many other situations, cases, circumstances are coming in and out that door if I saw 2 of them and we were only there for half a day.
Correct. And so that's what it is. And I would say keep that in mind if living abroad or traveling long distances in other countries is something that you want to do. Know that the visa process may be a part of that journey, right? All countries are different and unique, and so keep that in mind, right? Do your research. However, it takes what it takes. You can't rush it. And that's a fun thing about being Americans is that we think things should happen fast, like boom, 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 boom. And it's not in our hands, right? We're dealing with a whole nother country and a whole nother way of living. And so it's even as well for me, it's helping me to realize that, hey, calm down.
It's okay.
It's okay. You don't have to rush things as you're used to things being rushed here in the States. And so open yourself open to a new way of living. And so thank you to the country of South Africa for calming me down, allowing for me to relax and go with the flow a little bit more. I tell my kids to do it all the time. And so here's my turn to go with the flow. And so those are the most frequently asked questions that we are asked. Hopefully that is beneficial to you if Johannesburg, South Africa is the move for you, or moving to a whole other country, right? Those things apply. You just reapply to whatever country or destination you're looking to move to. Those are things that you have to consider, look out for.
I thought of a bonus.
See, that's what happens when you stay later.
A bonus question
is,
should you get an attorney?
To do what?
To apply for a visa. And
the answer is resounding yes. You want to have an attorney in order to help you to get your visa, right? It helps to have boots on the ground that knows the lay of the land, because our attorney, that's the key part too. Our attorney is based in South Africa. She lives in South Africa. The attorney's office is in South Africa. Therefore, she knows the laws and rules of the land of South Africa.
And just the people. She knows how to converse and communicate. I read the emails that she sends in communication with the embassy, and the way that she introduces the email and says things is just different than the way that we converse here in the States. And so I would say, like, it's so important.
Yes.
Get an attorney. Is it just paperwork? Can you do it yourself? Technically, yes, but it's a lot of paperwork. For our family of 4, we had over 250 pages of paperwork, and all you need is one transpose number. All you need is one box that you check one and you meant to check the other for your whole application to be denied. And there are even updates to different paperwork that I did not have access to, even knowing that's what was necessary. But the attorney knew, because she's an attorney.
Correct.
And she was like, oh no, you need this document, not this document. Oh, you need this, not this. You need, like, she knew a lot of things that, as much as YouTube is out there, Google is out there, all those things, that information was not out there. And I had been searching for months, and she just had other information that I didn't have. It is an investment, but if you're planning to move to a whole nother country, you need to be able to have some skin in the game, make the investment that's necessary to be able to do that. It's gonna make your life so much easier. We couldn't even get an appointment at the embassy without our attorney. I've been calling for days and weeks, and they would not respond. But when our attorney reached out, they responded. And there's some respect that I would say at least the government of South Africa gives to people that are making sure they're going through proper channels to be able to legally enter into the country. I'm not saying you can't get an appointment. I'm giving you my experience, and I'm saying get an attorney.
Boom. And even to add to the bonus, we will even give the contact information of our attorney in the description, right? Because she's been phenomenal, she's been helpful, and when you call her, you can let her know the Joneses sent you to her, and she'll be, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. Great people, great office, and it's worth it, right? I just think of that song. Give it to me, I'll work it. But anyway.
Oh my God, our niece used to sing that when she was like 4. It was hilarious. But yes, we can make sure we put their information. We won't put her specific name. It is a group of attorneys, and they'll assign you to the person that's best for your situation, the type of visa that you're getting. But yeah, we can make sure we put the company name.
That's it. That's what you get for being at the end of this video, okay? So with that being said, you good on the bonuses and the questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, we love you all. We appreciate you all. Have some fun, great people. If you have any other questions that we did not address in a specific video, drop them in the comment section. We'll look to do a video with those questions being asked if there are any questions. But in the next time, great people, we love you all. We appreciate you all. Till then, peace.